Okay, I'm going to jump right in. Like I said, we're wrapping up more with less this year. I'll probably give a kind of a wrap up here in the next week or two. But this morning I wanted to talk about patience, more patience, less instant gratification. And I kind of went into it just a tiny bit last week or the week before, I can't remember which here now, I think the week before, with just the delayed results and how that tends to discourage people. And so I wanted to go into that and explore that a little bit more. So this morning, something to kind of think through this with as we go into this is good things will happen sooner than you think, but longer than you wish. Conversely, consequences are bigger than you thought and worse than you counted on. So as we think about more patience versus less instant gratification, think about it in that light. So the first thing I think we need to understand is the law of time. And we've talked about the law of time here before, but I want us to think about the law of time in the whole realm of what we're going to be talking about this morning. Time grows all things. I've said that. What you do repeatedly over time will grow. You'll become better at or you'll become worse at. The habit will be more entrenched. And for this, I just want to use an illustration because it's still fresh on my mind and my back is still a little tired. We had bushes growing around our house that just, as time passed, they grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And Galen Kaufman had said I'm supposed to trim them by hand, and I did not ask him why. So what I did every year was take the trimmers and I just trimmed across the top, and I was just kind of hitting the top of the branches, and then they just grow even more, instead of cutting them back to the bigger part of the branch. So these things were just going out of control. So time was growing these bushes, just like time does. So whatever we kind of allow to grow, time just magnifies it and it will grow. And then the second thing is time travel is not real. Do you guys any of you guys remember the series Back to the Future? It's a great one. So this guy figured out how to travel through time. He could go back, he could go forward, he could fix things, he could go ahead and see what's happening. That's not real. But the crazy thing is people act like it's real. We think if we leave for work late, we'll just make it up on the road. We'll travel through time a little faster. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what, I gotta get this thing done. The deadline is on this certain day. I'll wait to start till I really have to, and then I'm going to kind of travel through time and make it happen. We believe time travel is possible. I think that's how we act anyhow. So I needed to remove these bushes, back to these bushes. And what I would have loved to say is, yep, I want to remove these bushes and then time travel to Saturday night when they were done. That's what I wanted to do. But it was impossible. I could not go from deciding that I wanted the bushes removed, travel over time where it's all the hard work, and by the way, I did it on that weekend when it was like 80-some degrees. Oh, I about killed myself. So I wanted to skip that part of my life and just get to where it was done. But I couldn't. Time travel is not real. You have to put in the hard work. And then good results are not seen overnight or throughout the day. I started Friday afternoon at about 4 o'clock removing my bushes, and I was not done until Saturday night. And I was down in there cutting with the chainsaw, smoke rising, and I'm sweating. And in the direct sunlight, the thermometer said in the 90s. Woo! Good results took time. I had to work hard. So understand the law of time. You have to work with time. I had to do it 1 bush at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 sweat drop at a time, till I got 1.8 tons of bushes removed. So you can't just travel through time. It takes time to do good things, and we must understand that. If you don't believe and understand the law of time, you've got a problem. So if you want to see good things happen, you need time. Number 2, believe in the law of consequences. So first we must understand the law of time, and then we must believe in the law of consequences. And this is where most humans get tripped up. Instant gratification has long-term consequences. You don't feel the consequences right away, but in the long term, you're going to feel them. So for this number 2, I want to talk about food. You've seen me growing slowly if you've been here over the years. My midsection continues just to grow slowly. It's a result of instant gratification. I'm just going to have to be honest with you. I love to eat good food. Mike and his sister, they made a great pie, or 2 amazing pies for the office after taking the machine home. Thank you, Mike. But I blame you for my problem. So these pies are sitting there. I didn't have any breakfast, and guess what I did? I ate 3 pieces of pie for breakfast. And these things were sweet, full of sugar, and by 2 o'clock that afternoon, sugar was just pounding through my veins. I could hardly think straight. I could hardly sit still. My whole body was tingling. It was a sugar high. I did not feel it when I was eating the pie, but later that day, man, I was drinking water, trying to get rid of the sugar. It was incredible. But so I did not feel it when I was eating the pie, but a little while later I did. And then if you look at me next year, I'm going to be that much bigger from that pie. So instant gratification, here's the thing about it. It feels good in the moment, but there's always results or long-term consequences that we're going to have to deal with later. The other thing is consequences take a long time to reverse. So as I've been putting on weight, it's easy to put it on, but very difficult to take off. So it comes on and it stays with you. The consequences from me loving to eat good food and good pie and sometimes not having enough of self-control, it's sticking with me. It's here. So you can put that in any context, but what you're doing, the long-term consequences are still with you. And then the other thing is the consequences always outweigh the gratification. I believe this. It would be much easier for me to just trim down my eating a little bit than work super hard to lose my extra weight. So if I would just do the easy thing, which is not easy, not eat as much pie, because that day, man, that pie was good, I would not have to deal with the hard work of trying to lose the weight that I've been putting on. I went to the doctor the other day, and we were sitting there, and I got my weigh in, and then she was looking over my chart, and then she said, "Oh, 225. I was like, yeah, I've always been like 220, 225. I should not say that to the doctor who has my records in front of her. She's like, "Oh, no. She said, "When you first started coming, you weighed 212, and then it was 215, 219, 223, and now you're at 225. Something like that. It was this progression that I was getting heavier. I was like, "Thank you, doc." So, I am still bearing the consequences of maybe not exercising as much as I should, eating a little bit. So we must believe in the law of consequences. If you do not believe in this law, you will do the instant gratification thing like I did on Tuesday or Wednesday with that pie, and you're going to feel the results. Lastly, and this one's the hard one, is put your mind over your matter. And the matter is your body. Put your mind over your matter. Do the right hard thing, and the hard thing will feel right. Does that make sense? When I was in Africa on the world race, I decided it was time to start running. It's time to lose this bod that was getting out of shape. So I started running. And those first couple runs, so painful. I ran for 15, 20 minutes, and I was so sore. And every second I was running, it was like painful because I just could hardly do it. But when I get back, man, it felt so good. I ran. I kind of felt good. But after a little bit, I started feeling better when I was running. So if you do the right hard thing, the hard thing will start feeling right. So put your mind over your matter. And this is a big one. Ignore the delayed results U-turn. I think gyms know this, and this is why they require contracts. Because you go to the gym and you start working out and you're lifting those weights, and man, the arms just don't get bigger. You're running on the treadmill, you just don't get thinner. Like it doesn't happen because the results are delayed. And people give up and get discouraged all the time. They're doing the right thing, but they get discouraged way too quickly. So when I'm running, if I would not push through those first couple days, first couple weeks, I would be like, I can't do it, I'm not a runner. It just is so hard on my body, whatever, because the results aren't there. Why am I putting myself through all this pain and I look exactly the same? Like, it's just not worth it. So when that is happening, when you're doing the right thing but you're not seeing the results yet, don't give up. The results are going to be coming. And then avoid the gratification trap. This one here gets you because you might be doing the right thing. You got the results. You made it past the U-turn. You're still going. You're starting to see the results. But one night, it's your evening to run. I know this because this is my life. It's your evening to run, but you've had a long day. You got up early that morning, and you're just not feeling it. You're tired. What do you want to do? Sit on the couch, maybe watch a movie, read a book. You don't want to run. Anything but run. I'll even clean the bathroom. You know that feeling? You'll do anything to get out of running. So you don't. You go clean the bathroom, and you don't run. Well, the next day, guess what? It's much harder to run the next day because now running is an option. It's not like a choice that's been made beforehand that you're going to do no matter what. Now, getting up and running is an option. It's up to you. You don't have to clean the bathroom today to stay home. You can kind of amble around the yard looking at your flowers instead of running. So when you get into this gratification trap, when you do what feels good, it perpetuates. The next day you do what feels good, and the next day. And soon you're in this gratification trap. And you used to be doing the right thing, but now you're doing the wrong thing because you gave in to what feels good. So put your mind over your matter. So remember, if you can remember these 3 points, understand the law of time. Good things take time. Believe in the law of consequences. If you treat yourself and you do something you shouldn't, you're going to get the consequences of that. And then put your mind over your matter. Your mind can control your body. It's hard work. I'm not always doing it. Trust me, I could tell you many stories that are just as recent as yesterday of things that I should be doing that I sometimes don't. But this is what I want to shoot for, and this is what I think if we can understand, we can be wise people who will have a wonderful life. So understand the law of time, believe in the law of consequences, and put your mind over your matter. The law of delayed results leaves many disillusioned, while the lie of instant gratification tricks many a poor soul, but the patient enjoy their investment many times over. Sounds like it was out of Proverbs, right? I wrote that. I did read Proverbs. So the question of whether I will live with consequences or enjoy results in the future is easily answered by which I'm investing in now. Instant gratification or delayed results. So what do you want your future to look like? Do you want to reap the benefits of investing in things that are going to give good long-term results? Or do you want to enjoy the moment and get consequences down the road? So as we're thinking through life, as we're walking through life, let's remember that. Good things take time. So when you're doing the right thing, don't give up. Keep going. Remember the law of time. And then also remember the law of consequences when you're tempted to do the wrong thing or to give up. And then put your mind over your matter and stick to it.